welcome everyone, bienvenidos, and thank you for coming to our annual Latino Roots Celebration. I'm thrilled to be your MC today. I'm Audrey Lucero. I'm a professor in the College of Education and the director of the Latinx Studies program on campus. I'm going to start us off by introducing my colleagues who are the instructors of the Latino Roots course. Dr. Lynn Stephen is a Philip H. Knight Chair and Distinguished Professor of Anthropology. She teaches and conducts research on gender, race, ethnicity, migration, and indigenous peoples in the Americas. And she teaches the Latino Roots course with our colleague Gabriela Martinez, who is the department head of the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies and a professor in the School of Journalism and Communication. She's an award-winning documentary filmmaker of more than 12 ethnographic and social documentaries. And so welcome to them.
Thank you, Audrey. Gracias. Buenas tardes. Welcome everyone to the 2022 Latino Roots Celebration. A big shout out to this class. Yay!
And the 2020 class.
And also the 2020 class that was online, remote. I think some of them. Yay! Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Why don't you all stand up from both classes so people can see who you are and face our audiences. All these directors, producers. All right. Okay, I want to start by saying how proud I am of our Latino Roots students for both classes, and particularly class of 2022. They devoted themselves to 2 terms of long working hours to learn about not only Latinx history in the state of Oregon, but also the craft and art of documentary making and the various skills needed to produce a story. Their documentaries add to our growing body of knowledge that we set to build a decade ago. So a shout out because we are turning 10 years and this is the 6th edition of this course. And thank you to everyone who helped us make that possible. The Latino Roots course and the documentaries produced by our students continue to be a clear bridge between the lived experiences of those who call Oregon home and their deep roots that travel from and to Latin American countries. The personal stories and histories of Latinx people in Oregon and the United States are connected historically, culturally, economically, and politically to Latin America. As we teach, preserve, and celebrate Latinx lives and their experiences in the United States, I would like to call attention to not lose sight of the importance to continue teaching and learning about Latin America. CLASS, the institutional home for the Latino Roots Project, was founded with the vision of bridging both fields of study, Latin America and Latinx studies, and has been providing a space for a hemispheric understanding of both. My hope is that the University of Oregon won't steer away from one to focus on the other, and that the institution commits to equally support both fields for the greater benefit of all of our students. Thank you to our students for being so resilient in these times. I mean, these are very, very special times. We have been, in the past 2.5 years, living very special moment in human history. So I hope that you live with you everything you have learned. Not only Adobe Premiere, as one of you said, but also, you know, how is to work as a team, how is to work as peers, how is to support each other in the long hours that you spend in the lab, how is to come on a Sunday, on a Friday, and be there until 1 in the morning working with your peers. That's a very special bond that you will carry forever. And 20 years from now, when you are film producers, anthropologists, sociologists, public health workers, you will remember the cinema lab studies at the Night Library and our dear library. So think of those memories. I think you have created a very special bond, and I'm very, very proud of each of you. Thank you.
Welcome. I want to give a particular bienvenida a los familiares y familias de los estudiantes who are here. I know that we have some families here, participants in film, so I'm so glad that you're here. It's very, very special that you took time to be here today, and there are families who can't be here because people are at work, they're on a shift, and they can't get off. So we want to think about them too and send our love and cariño out to all of the families of the students who are here and their participants. We're so excited to be here in person. I'm going to tell you just a couple things about the classes. These students spend 20 weeks working together. The first 10 weeks, they learn about the racial and ethnic history of Oregon, with emphasis on Native peoples and settler colonialism, Black presence in the state of Oregon, Asian immigration and settlement, and the long-standing presence of Latinx people. The first language other than native languages spoken in what we call Oregon fue Español. It was Spanish a long time ago. After students learn this history, they select a participant and will be screening their films from 5 to 6 in 3 different rooms. We'll tell you more about that. They do an oral history interview, they tape record it, they transcribe it, and then they make a proposal for making a film, and they pitch them in class, just like in Hollywood. And we talk about budget and details, and we take it seriously, and they take it seriously too. The second half of the class is learning how to make that story into a movie, how to build a story, build what we call an arc. Students also subtitle their films. All these films are bilingual, son bilingües. If the entrevista fue en español, the subtitles are in English. And if the interview was in English, los subtítulos están en español. So they're all bilingual films. And we have one film in Portuguese, también, which is also subtitled in English. So we have 97 films, including those from today, almost 100. These films and the downloadable Latino Roots exhibit, there's a little sample of that in the lobby, these films have been used widely in schools, museums, colleges and universities, community centers, theaters, festivals, and more. Something like 60,000 people have seen the exhibit and accessed these films throughout the state. And we have stories from Guatemala, from Mexico, Uruguay, Peru, El Salvador, Cuba, Honduras, Venezuela, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Chile, Nicaragua, Bolivia, California, Oregon, and other places. And beyond the films you're going to see, this isn't all these students do. They also are creating an archive. Each of them takes the photographs, the audio files, their transcripts, and their final film, and they're deposited in special collections and university archives, which has an exhibit in the back for you to look at. And they become a resource in the Latino Roots collection for the future. So imagine 25 years from now, students who aren't even born yet, or other scholars or young scholars who want to know about these stories and Latinx history in Oregon can go to special collections and the archive, and they can access all these materials. You can access them soon, too. You don't have to wait 25 years. So they are building an archive for future generations. We're all so grateful to UO Libraries and Special Collections and the University Archive for their ongoing support. I want to give a special shout out to Linda Long and Bronwyn Maxon for their help in putting together this event, to Nathan Georgitis for supporting the class, and the films. And we want to extend a special welcome to our sponsors who've been sponsoring the Latino Roots program since its beginning, from the Selco Community Credit Union, who are here today with us: Craig Carpenter, Jacob Burns, and Lorenzo Herrera. And I'm going to hand it back to Audrey Lucero, my colleague, who is the amazing director of the UO Latinx Studies program at the U of O, and also her research has centered on education for Latinx students and others from marginalized communities, as well as looking at how these experiences influence their identities as literate beings. Thanks. And
Thank you. If you're just coming in, feel free to fill in any of the empty seats up here. And I want to take an opportunity to introduce our next speaker, because I think it's important to acknowledge that the Latino community at U of O is small but growing, but it's a very important part of our university community. And that's why we're absolutely thrilled to have President Michael Schill with us today. He's the president of the University of Oregon and holds a tenured faculty appointment in the School of Law. During his tenure, President Schill has launched a number of initiatives to advance the university's priorities of enhancing academic and research success, supporting student access, and improving the campus experience for students from diverse communities. Prior to coming to the university, President Schill was the dean of the University of Chicago Law School and has served as dean of the University of California, Los Angeles School of Law, and has been a professor at New York University and the University of Pennsylvania. So thank you for coming, President Schill.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Well, I am just so delighted that we're all here together. This is an event that I love to come to every year, and I've missed for the past couple years, and I'm really delighted that we could all be together again to celebrate the Latino Roots program. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this event. It is a high point of the year, and the Latino Roots program is something that is very, very special. It represents what we do at the university the best. We bring people together to better understand our world and our history through teaching, research, and creative projects. It's an example of the kind of liberal arts experience we strive to create for our students. I wish every student at the university had a project like this that they worked on. This course combines elements of Latin American history, journalism, anthropology, and ethnic studies, among others. It equips our students, you, many of you, with the knowledge and the skills to capture the experiences of Oregon's Latinx community today and to contribute to the community's collective memory and history. So this is, as we just mentioned, this is the 7th class or 6th? 6th class of Latino Roots since the program began. Together, the students through the years have a combined 97 films. At last count, more than 60,000 people had interacted with the Latino Roots materials and films. You're making a difference. Through these projects, our university, our community, and our state have a better understanding of the experiences and the contributions of the Latinx community in Oregon and in the West. Now, in addition to providing a remarkable experience for our students, this program allows the university to further develop and strengthen our relationships with Latinx and other communities throughout Oregon. This is essential to the future of the University of Oregon as we work to increase access and support for students and also to provide an outstanding student experience. And as many of you know, the provost is working with a faculty-led committee chaired by Professor Laura Pulido on examining what it would take for the University of Oregon to become a Hispanic-serving institution. And we believe that day will come, and we want to plan for it. I would like to thank Lynn Stevens, Gabriela Martinez, and the many other faculty and staff, including Audrey, who have made the Latino Roots program such a wonderful success. And to you, to our Latino Roots students, congratulations on completing your course. Congratulations on almost completing the year and also completing your projects. You all should be very proud of the work that you've created as part of this program. So I want to thank you, thank everyone for being here today, and I can't wait to see the movies and the presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, President Schill. Our next speaker will be Dr. Alicia Salaz, who is the new Vice Provost and University Librarian for the university. She was hired in 2021, and she holds an EDD, a Doctorate of Education in Higher Education, and a Master of Library and Information Science. And Dr. Salaz is interested in her research in the areas of adult learning and reading formats, and she's also interested in transnational higher education, international library and information practices, and scholarly communications infrastructure. So welcome, Dr. Salaz.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Colleagues, students, guests, and friends. It is my privilege to be here with you for my very first Latino Roots. I'm so excited to be a part of it and be representing the libraries on this occasion. The libraries have partnered with the Latino Roots program from the very beginning, the associated courses as well, since 2011. The documentaries and the oral histories produced by students through this project, as Dr. Stephen told you, are archived and made available to the public through our library's special collections. After more than a decade of collaboration, this year we are approaching, as mentioned, our 100th documentary to be deposited in the libraries and made available to the public and to researchers, which is very significant. These films capture the lived experiences of Latino Oregonians and contribute original primary source records to our historical collections, to the human knowledge record. These records can be used to understand individual experiences, but collectively also to understand the social and cultural development of entire communities. In libraries and archives, we often reflect on the stories that aren't told, on the things that we don't have, on the gaps in our collections and in the historical record. Stories that are never captured, contributions to science and culture throughout history have been lost because there wasn't a historian or an archivist or a librarian there at the time to capture that story and to preserve it. Our archives are especially short on the stories of everyday people whose lives and experiences represent the everyday reality of thousands of entire communities through history. We work hard in libraries to develop and care for a historical record that is truly inclusive and truly representative of our diverse communities. The effort, students, that you have put into creating these original records contributes significantly and meaningfully to this goal of the creation of a complete record. Through the care and stewardship of our archivists and our librarians, these will remain available to scholars and historians for generations to come. Students, you have done something important with this project, something very meaningful, and I congratulate you for it. I want to add my personal acknowledgement and thanks to the participants of these documentaries who've contributed their valuable time and personal knowledge to the project, and who've trusted us with the custody and the stewardship of their stories. I want to congratulate the faculty mentors who have developed and sustained this program, and especially our library team members, particularly Linda Long, Bronwyn Maxon, and Nathan Georgitis. Are any of you in the room to wave a hand? Yeah, please do, because later as we're milling about, yes, I strongly encourage you to find them and thank a librarian if you can. The libraries couldn't be an effective academic partner in this program or any other program without the continuous support of our university administration, so thank you, President Schill, as well as Provost Patrick Phillips, for your continued support of the libraries. And finally, I want to thank the organizers of today's celebration for inviting us to share in this experience. I'm so excited to get to actually see the products of the work today, enjoy some good food, and have a bit of fun together after so much hard work. Congratulations again to everyone.
Great, thank you. And if you're just coming in, please feel free to find a place to sit. There's plenty of seats, so it's up to you if you'd like to take one. The next person I get to introduce will be familiar to many of you because Guadalupe is involved in so many things in our community at the university and also in various community-based organizations. Guadalupe Quinn is a Mexican immigrant who has been in Oregon since 1978. She's been a community organizer, activist, and advocate for more than 25 years. She's very dedicated to issues of human rights and social justice and has spent most of her life working for these causes. She has won a laundry list of awards, has been recognized many times for the important work that she does. Just to give you a taste of the kinds of things she's been involved in, she's won the City of Eugene's Human Rights Commission's Martin Luther King Jr. Award, the International Women's Day Award, the NAACP Community Leadership Award, the Lane County Commissioner's Distinguished Service Award, Causas in Defense of the Community Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award also from CAUSA. So please give a very warm welcome to Guadalupe Quinn.
Oh my gosh, buenas tardes. I'm just going to take a few minutes to share my involvement with the Latino Roots Project. I am very excited to see where we started and where we're at. And I really want to thank Lynn Stevens, who was the person who kind of contacted me about being involved with the Latino Roots Project with the idea that we wanted to interview folks in the community, and I was really fortunate enough in the process of doing that to be able to work with Gabi and other folks. And one of the things that I loved was, I always look at the university as another world. So when somebody comes out of the university and steps into the community and wants to make a connection, I'm all for it. So I was really excited to be able to work at finding folks in our community, from the Latinx community, from the immigrant community, people that I knew for many years and people that I considered friends. But when we started to contact folks and do those interviews, to make those documentaries and get those stories, even the people that I knew that were friends had stories to tell, talked about why they were here, talked about their struggles and their sacrifices, and talked about, how they were able to make it, how they were able to survive a lot of stuff, and also shared a lot of what it was like to be in Oregon, what it was like to be in Eugene, way back many, many years ago. So I was really lucky to be able to be part of this, and I will forever be grateful to Lynn and other folks that I worked with, to be able to have been part of that, to be able to have listened to the stories of the individuals and families that we interview, to hear about what it was like for them in school, in this community, and also to be able to see and have them share with us very personal things, pictures of their families, things they brought from Mexico or other countries, what that meant to them and how they continue to preserve their culture, and also how proud people were of being who they were, of being immigrants, of coming from other countries, of being able to survive a whole lot of stuff. So, you know, I'm really grateful. And then the other thing I'm really excited about, because I don't always know what's happening on campus, I'm so excited to see how this Latino Roots Project turned into this whole involvement of allowing students, or creating a program and a tool where students could also be part of that Latino Roots Project in a way that they could connect with community, where they could do interviews, where they could also learn and also be part of other people's lives through their stories. And in the crazy world that we're in right now, I can't think of a better place or a better way for us to figure out how to come together than to share our stories, to talk to one another, to get to know one another in a way that allows us to see our humanity, that allows us to be visible, that allows us to appreciate who we are, where we come from, and our struggle and survival. So I am so grateful to hear what is going on now with the students and the opportunities that your stories, your documentaries will give to other people in the community. I kind of look at the classes that the students have done and think to myself, I want educators in our community to know about this. I want them to use those documentaries to share with their students so that we can create the kind of understanding that we really need about one another. And so I'm really grateful to see from where we started as a Roots project and some exhibits and talking to folks in our community, to now when we have all these documentaries that are available to different people to learn about other people and to also create more understanding and hopefully come together, so regardless of who we are and where we come from, to learn how to include people, to learn how to respect one another, and to learn how to live together in a loving, caring, kind, respectful way. Thank you so much.
It is our honor to give the Latino Roots Award for 2022 to Guadalupe Quinn. No se vaya. This project actually began before the classes in the Lane County Historical Museum, which, to put it mildly, at the time needed some redecoration. It featured a Conestoga wagon and a jail. So Guadalupe was part of creating the first Latino Roots exhibit there, where we interviewed 9 families. We had actual metates and rebosos and lots of artifacts, and we also made films. So we forgot to tell that part of the story. So she was an integral part of that, and has been, she has been working for social justice and has advocated for the Latinx community in many forms on many different issues. And I would say she is an extremely important Latino root in Eugene. And she has so many trees and branches and folks that she has supported and mentored in the thousands, would be my guess. And she was featured in a film among the first class of Latino Roots films in 2011. She's been a tireless advocate for the Latino Roots Project since we first began. So we're so pleased to honor you, Guadalupe, for your long-term commitment to Latinx and immigrant communities and to educating the world about history's commitments, struggles, and contributions. So please accept this award, and thank you so much.
Okay, now I'm gonna introduce 3 of our students. Actually, I will do the introduction for 2 of them, who are undergraduate students that will have a few words for all of you. I would like to invite Kat Sinquir Alvarez, who is a major in cinema studies, folklore, and anthropology. And then we'll have Angel Escorcia Núñez, who is a major in journalism and communication and Latinx studies. Woohoo!
Good evening, everyone. So I first heard about the Latino Roots class in the winter term of my freshman year, around January of 2020. Remember that? Just before the world turned around on its head. One lovely student told me about her film journey and how the class was meant to capture and share the stories of mi gente. At the time, I had only 1 term and a quarter under my belt, but one thing remained constant: my passions and dreams for the future. Upon arriving in Oregon, I realized my true love for mi comunidad and how much I wanted to see myself represented on screen. I knew at the time that I wanted to raise the voices and faces of mi comunidad, mi gente, and mi familia. Amidst the pandemic, it was challenging to remain connected. It was difficult to feel a sense of belonging in the dark and dull world. As I come into my 3rd year in the University of Oregon and took my first production class in the fall term with Gabriela Martinez, I fell deeper in love with storytelling and filmmaking, and the time for signing up for the Latino Roots class approached very quickly. As soon as I stepped into the classroom of Latino Roots 2 years after I had first heard about it, I was delighted to see so many faces of those who cared and wanted to tell our story. We grew close in the span of 20 weeks. And those long nights in the cinema lab with one constant struggle truly built the community within our class. We all cared. We all were trying our best, and we found support in one another. I thank Lynn, Gabriela, and Shuo for all the knowledge and support and vigor in pushing us and guiding us as we were going to make something we were not only proud of, but something that we knew we wanted to share with the world. We had our ups and downs, and all in all, I am so grateful to have been a part of this opportunity. Thank you, Latino Roots class. We did it. ¡Lo hicimos!
Hey everyone. First of all, I want to start out by thanking everyone who made the Latino Roots course and the gallery and exhibit possible. And igual muchas gracias a todos por venir. Thank you everyone for coming out and supporting us. And we hope you enjoy the films. Espero que les gusten las películas. And also big thank you. Can we get another round of applause to Professor Martinez and Professor Lim, please? 97 student films, almost at the 100 mark, so that's amazing. And finally, I can't forget to thank my family. Thank you so much for coming and supporting. I would not be here without any single one of you. No puedo olvidar agradecer a mi familia. Gracias por venir y por el apoyo. No estaría aquí sin ustedes. Muchas gracias. And, but yeah, growing up in Oregon, was a unique experience. And, when I was young, I really tried to hide the fact that I was Latino because I was ashamed of being the son of immigrants, And I'm just grateful that my mentality has changed and I've evolved and I kind of became the person I wanted to be. And, I'm just blessed to be Latino. I'm blessed with a rich culture. I'm blessed with the community. Gracias por la comunidad. Y estoy bendecido con esta comunidad que estamos construyendo juntos. And estoy muy emocionado de que vean mi documental. Mi abuelo falleció en el 2019. He knew that I got accepted into the U of O, but he never got to see me hold my high school diploma. Falleció antes de que me graduara de la preparatoria. Pero gracias a esta película, I can bring a spirit here. Puedo traerlo aquí. Y gracias a mi abuela por ayudarme a contar esta historia. Thank you, Grandma, for helping me tell this story. You know, sé que Don Chuy está aquí con nosotros en esta sala, en este momento, y sé que está orgulloso. One of my favorite lessons from this course is recognizing that you have a voice. Tienes una historia, tienes una voz. Siéntese orgulloso de esa historia y compártela. You never know the impact it can have. Nunca sabes el impacto que puedes crear. Y juntos estamos haciendo historia. Together, we are making history. Hoy celebramos nuestros logros. Today we celebrate our achievements. Thank you.
I want to just introduce our next student speaker, who is Lydia Munoz Paniagua. This class has graduate students and undergrads together. We have 4 grad students in this class. Lydia is a PhD candidate in cultural anthropology here.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Carmen, for making it possible to come here. I would like to thank, especially, I know we already did that, but this class would not be possible without the Professor Lynn Stephen and Professor Gabriela Martinez initiative. So thank you very much for making it possible. And this class, I've learned so many things, not only about the experience of the Latinx community here, but also some skills that I have never had an opportunity to deal with. Dealing with cameras, editing, and all of that was way out of my league. And I'm so grateful to have that opportunity to do also new things, to learn a new way to narrate a story, to learn a new way to create social content that's probably more available to other people than just in the written form. But my utmost gratitude goes to Carmen Ramirez, and thank you so much for coming. And also to the other amazing women from Picún, Reina and Maria, who are also here. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you for letting me put it in a visual way. Carmen Ramirez is one of the first women to stand up for farm workers' rights in the region and advocate for their well-being. It is easy to say you need to get involved, but it is very different to be involved for so many years. Carmen Ramírez ha estado involucrada en el bienestar de la comunidad latina por mucho tiempo, y eso me ha impactado grandemente. Es una cosa diferente decir hay que hacer cosas a ver a una persona que constantemente lo ha hecho a través de toda su vida. It has had a great impact on me, as I said. I oftentimes feel thirsty for acts of kindness and solidarity in our world, and Carmen's story has precisely provided examples of how to do that continuously. And also, speaking about helping others, I want to give a special thanks to my friend Shuo, who has Shu has been our GE for this class, and she has invested an immense amount of knowledge, time, and patience with all of us. I think that without her participation, our projects would be impossible to complete. And I think her role speaks volume to the importance and contributions that graduate students also make to this university. So thank you so much, Shuo, for all your work. And finally, thank to all of you who are sharing this experience with us, and we really hope you enjoy our films. Thank you.
And I would like to invite Shuo Shu to the podium, please. Thank you, Shuo. Shuo is an international study from China, and I want to call attention to the fact that graduate students do a lot of labor for our university. And so shout out to all GEs, and also that they contribute so much to the knowledge of our undergraduates and also graduate students that are sharing the space with them. Shuo is a great example of that, not only as a GE, but also as an international student who all the way from China now has become an expert in Latin America and Latinx history in Oregon. This to me, it's very special because this is the third time that she has GE for this course, for Latino Roots. So it's been a great experience to work with her through the last classes, the 3 last classes that we have had. So I just want to give her a token of appreciation from us, the professors, and our entire class, and also class of 2020 that was held by Shuo as well.
Wow, I didn't expect this. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for recognizing us, immigrants and minorities here in the Oregon state. Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, next on the program is a compilation video introducing you to the students, all the students in the class, and some comments about the class, since we didn't have time for everybody to speak. So hopefully this is going to roll.
Mi nombre es Lidia Esther Muñoz Paniagua, soy estudiante de primer año de doctorado en el Departamento de Antropología.
My name is Veronica Garcia and I am in a master's program in the Department of Global Studies.
My name is Jose Alfredo Marquez Alonso and I'm an anthropology major.
My name is Karina Gonzalez and I'm pursuing a double major in Family and Human Services in Spanish.
My name is Ruby Velasquez and my major is in Humanities and my minor is in Ethnic Studies.
My name is Caíto Campos de Novaes. I am a PhD student in Cultural Anthropology.
Hola, me llamo Ángel Saúl Escorcia Núñez, majoring in Journalism and Communications with a minor in Latinx Studies.
My name is Skylar Davis. I am a first-year graduate student within the Department of Global Studies.
My name is Edna Ventura, and my major is Public Relations.
So my name is Sandy Fernandez. My major is Psychology and Spanish with a minor in Latinx Studies.
My name is Jocelyn Tellez. I am studying Political Science and English and minoring in Legal Studies and Anthropology.
My name is Martín Abraham Zepeda. I am a journalism major.
My name is Paula Campos Monchor. I am a PhD student in the Anthropology department.
My name is Kat Sinclair Alvarez. I am a Cinema Studies major with a double minor in Folklore and Cultural Anthropology. I am a 3rd year and I highly recommend this class.
I think the Latino Roots class is incredibly important, not only for the University of Oregon, but for the state of Oregon as a whole, giving people an opportunity to understand who was here first in the state and how those people contributed to the state of Oregon.
Tomé este curso Latino Roots porque me interesaba conocer la historia, los orígenes, la evolución de la población latina en los Estados Unidos.
One of the favorite things that I've learned is how to interview someone and how to kind of learn someone's personal story, just being able to ask the right questions and really learn how to share someone's story with other people.
I have learned that the story you think that you're going to do in your documentary can really change into something completely different. And I think that's really beautiful.
Some things that I've learned are, learn how to be able to handle camera and tell a story, through it. I obviously grew up in the era of technology where cameras are everywhere, but being able to actually use that to say something or do something with it that can, tell about my history or my experience.
Well, I took this class to better understand not only Latino roots throughout the state of Oregon, but also try and understand my own roots and how they have an influence in here.
Being able to be in a class with students who are inspiring, come from the same community, same background, it's been life-changing, honestly, being in a class setting where I feel like I belong.
In this class, I've learned a lot of skills in filmmaking, editing, making an interview, and this class was also very important to me to understand the history of Black, Indigenous, and Latinx people in the state of Oregon.
And taking the Latino Roots course has been life-changing. I've learned about Latino history in Oregon that I've never learned about in other educational systems right, and being able to create a documentary, you have the platform to share these stories and share with the world.
Mostly I learned a lot about myself just because we are working on the documentary. So it made me look at my story as well as my parents' story, since my documentary is based on my mother and my parents. So it made me realize the correlation of their story and how that has seeped into mine.
Before coming to this class, I never really had a emotional connection with my project or with anything I was really doing. And coming in didn't just make me a better student, but also made me, I think, a better friend for my subject. So I really do appreciate that Lynn and Gabriela were able to give me the opportunity to be able to tell his story and learn how to tell other stories as well.
I think I've learned a lot over the last 20 weeks. I've not only just learned about the Latinx history in the state of Oregon, but I've also learned how to capture people's stories and how to effectively do that.
The most important thing that I've learned from Latino Roots is that Oregon and the Pacific Northwest at large is full of Latinx people, and we make up a large portion of the population, and a lot of the times there's both conscious and unconscious erasures of our history, and being able to recognize what we've done is really important.
So not only did I learn Adobe Premiere skills throughout the term, but I've also learned valuable storytelling and listening skills, and just overall how to capture the story of a person and how to respect their story.
There's been multiple skills I've learned, but one of the main one has been communication in a professional setting, meaning when I was working with Maria Cortez, who I am making my documentary on, it was how to communicate with her, how to listen to her, how to hear her on her personal journey, and how to document that, respecting her journey here to America, and really connecting with her is a huge skill that I did not have prior to this class.
And I feel very fortunate to be taking Latino Roots this quarter, well, these past 2 quarters. It's a long and ongoing process and project working with storytelling, and through this class I've learned a lot about patience, teamwork.
Being kind to yourself while learning the technology, and taking a break when necessary.
All right, we have just a couple of things left in our program here before we'll share with you where the 3 rooms where the student films are and open up for food. At this point, I'd like to ask students who are here to stand and to give, if you have your USB, we used to have boxes with CDs in them. Now we have USBs. I'd like you to stand, and if your participant is here, to give them the USB. If you came in late and didn't get a USB, there's a couple folks, you can come up the stage, and Gabriela will give that to you. So let's stand and present your film to your participant, if they're here. All right, and this is a very small exchange, but these important relationships that have been forged through making films and getting to know people, sharing with family. And we also, Gabi, do we have one for the library? And Alicia, okay, Gabriela is coming to you, I guess, to symbolically present all of these films to the library. Thank you all for all the gifts, todos los regalos que están adentro de cada película y las relaciones y el amor que representan. Okay, if you are here to see a particular film, I want you to pay attention. We have 3 screening rooms up here. We have the Gumwood room, which is directly behind here. And in that room, we'll be featuring the films, and Gabriela and Shua and I have to run to these rooms and turn our computers on and project them. So there'll be a little bit of a pause, I think probably about 5 minutes. In the governor room is Caíto Campos de Novais, Paulette Campos Melchor, Ángel Escoria Núñez, Sandy Fernandez Lopez, and Veronica Garcia. In the Maple Room, which is out these doors and directly across the hall, will be the films of Karina Gonzalez, Skylar Humphrey Davis, Jose Marquez Alonso, Lydia Munoz Paniagua, and Karen Rodriguez. And in the Oak Room, which is also out this door, will be the films of Cats and Queer, Jocelyn Teles Cardenas, Ruby Velázquez, Edna Ventura, and Abram Zepeda. And Gabriela is going to close us out.
Well, thank you, everybody. Muchas gracias a todos por estar acá. Once again, I would like to thank our major sponsors for the Latino Roots projects, CELCO. Thank you very much. And I would like the representatives to stand up because usually we don't know who donates money here, right? Like they are kind of these invisible people. But please, I can see you there. Thank you. Yeah, I really want to thank them because personally, they are very invested in the Latino roots, not only as representatives of CELCO, but individually. I think they really care about the community and they have been supporting us for the past 10 years. So thank you very much. And una vez más, quiero agradecer a todas las familias que están acá, a todos los participantes y también participantes pasados. Ahí sí, algunas caras conocidas de personas que están en nuestras películas de otros años. Quiero agradecer especialmente a todas las familias que han apoyado, a sus hijos, a sus nietos, a sus sobrinos, a sus hermanas. Creo que eso demuestra mucho de la capacidad de crear historia y de crear nuestra historia. Right? Y tenemos que reconocer eso. Así que muchísimas gracias por todo el esfuerzo que hacen. Thank you very much for all the effort that all the families put into your children and sending your kids to college. They deserve it, you deserve it. Many of you are first generation, and thank you for being at the University of Oregon. I want to thank Audrey Lucero for having been our MC this afternoon. And thank you to Alicia Salas and President Schill for being here and sticking around with us. I hope to watch some of the films. And shout out to everyone who is spending this beautiful spring afternoon with us. And we're going to have the films, and outside in the courtyard, we're going to have some Mexican food. So please enjoy it.